You know what? I was actually late on this one. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Lions Rebuild franchise. It is Friday, August 11th. And yeah, some stuff going down in the NFL today. Some trades to talk about, preseason games yesterday and tonight. And we got the Lions Rebuild series to accompany us here. Our team is actually pretty good this season, so I'm expecting that we'll be going to the postseason and hopefully having a chance to win a title. Yes, I was actually late this time, but if I'm not late every now and then I guess I'm not living up to the gimmick here. First stream, hi Kane. Hello Marcus, how you doing? So, how's everybody doing on this Friday night? It's been a little while since I streamed this series. I wanted to get around to it last week, but then some stuff came up and I wasn't able to set aside the time for it. But I'd like to get through a couple, multiple streams this weekend of the series. I know that time is running out as Madden 18 approaches, and I still want to spend some time on here because I really enjoy just kicking back and seeing how the series plays out while we usually talk about things that are off topic until, you know, it gets real in the game. And it's gotten real on multiple occasions. We don't talk about Jeff Janis in the chat, by the way. His name is not allowed. And yes, the Bills. We're going to talk a lot about the Buffalo Bills today. Let's get into a game before we get to that, though. We just had a defeat. We just lost. And we lost to the Patriots. So we had the best record in the league. And we might not have that any longer after losing by 20 to New England. Looks like we added all our points in the fourth quarter. Really disappointing. Jared Peel, 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And Josh Gordon had a big day for us. But yeah, couldn't stop the Patriot offense. We're going to get into the Falcons game today. That's what I've been waiting for because we were tied for the best record in the NFC. And now we're tied with the Packers in the NFC North at 8-3. We might get to a Packer game today as well. Sherrod Fort coming back. Let's do a little bit of scouting here. Still not sure if we're going to go through another season in this series. We'll have to see how this one plays out and kind of go from there. We got a pretty deep running back class. I might find a second round one I like. I tend to avoid the like 230-pound backs because they pretty much all have the same skills. They're all like decent power backs, high 80s speed, like 80s trucking. That's a very common running back template this year. So we're 8-3. Let's move on to the next game. I'll get to all the thoughts about the Bills trades and whatnot in preseason, what I've seen so far. I hope to watch some more games that have already happened, and then I'll watch some football tonight. A lot less games tonight, however. So we're 9-3 going against the Falcons at 9-3. That's exactly what I wanted to see. And Ladarius Ballard signed off our practice squad to the Vikings. And Deshaun McDuffie coming back from injury. Wow, McDuffie's back, everybody. Deshaun McDuffie has returned. So he'll complement Adrian Peterson. 9-3, 9-3. Might be a 3-way tie atop the conference now. This offseason, you should blow all your cap on free agents, the crazy signing bonuses, and see what happens. I might. I'm not sure how our cap situation even is. But, wow, it's a 4-way tie at the top. There's going to be some good wild card teams this year. So we beat the Dolphins 28-21. Hopefully, Peel was able to limit the interceptions this time around. And he threw 2. And I got the super chat here from 27 Super Yankees. I'll get to this in just a moment. Let me sim ahead or get going into the game. 3 touchdowns in the return for Marvin Jones and a 100-yard day for Golden Tate. All right. So we're doing fine. We're scoring points. The offense is still explosive, and we're getting a little bit healthier as the season moves along. That's what you want to see. So let us get into this big Week 14 game as we host the 9-3 Atlanta Falcons. All right. First Super Chat of the night from 27 Super Yankees. Thank you very much. Can't wait to see Davis Webb and Josh Dobbs tonight. Me too. I like Josh Dobbs. He was a lot better passer than I anticipated when I watched some of his games. And I really want to see what he can do because his speed is electric. But he's not like, I don't think he's going to be like a Joe Webb type player where he's a lot more athlete than he is quarterback. He can pass pretty well. I like Dobbs' arm. So I want to see him. I think he's starting tonight. I'll be all over that Pittsburgh game then. Yeah, when I saw, because the first thing I saw about Josh Dobbs was like his combine score, which was very good. I think he had a 4.6 something 40 time. And then I saw that most had him as like a late round prospect. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's just like an athlete quarterback, but no, he's actually very intriguing. Landry Jones might start. We don't need more Landry Jones. How many years have we seen Landry Jones try to play preseason quarterback and sometimes regular? Like, Jones does not need to start. You know what you got in Jones. Finished product. Let's see Josh Dobbs. Whole game. Oh, Dobbs is starting. Jones was ruled out. Okay, don't scare me like that. Yeah, and I want to see James Conner as well. Lots of buzz about him. Kane, I run a no-switch sim league on PS4. If you're interested, we have 25 users at the moment. I really can't commit to any sort of league or anything like that. Otherwise, I would be interested. I'd love to play online franchise and give it a real shot because I haven't spent a lot of time with it, but I know that if it's done right, it's probably the most fun you could have on Madden. So, Lions and Falcons, let's get into this thing. And eventually I'll get around to talking about the Buffalo Bills here. I sat down to record some stuff earlier, and then immediately I see that Sammy Watkins was traded, and they also traded away Ronald Darby. So if you somehow missed out with the news around the league today, we had the Bills trading Sammy Watkins to the Rams for E.J. Gaines and either a second or third. But regardless, they got rid of Sammy Watkins and Ronald Darby, and they ended up acquiring E.J. Gaines, Jordan Matthews, and a second-round pick for next year and a third-round pick for next year. So the way I look at it, you downgrade at both positions, but you get nice draft capital for next year when maybe you're in the hunt for a quarterback. Maybe you are just trying to just see that the team might not be great this year and you want to maximize your upside for the future. It's a new regime there with Sean McDermott, and I forget the GM's name at the moment. Like Brandon Bean or something like that. Sounds familiar. So they obviously want to get, new guys in. You see this every time a team changes structure at the top. So Sammy Watkins has always had trouble staying healthy. Well, he did in his rookie season. He played 16 games then, I believe. But it's gone down the last 2 years, and I'm guessing that was the big reason why his option wasn't picked up. So this is the last year of his contract, and I believe it's the same for Jordan Matthews. But they get the pick now, so that's really helpful. And let me see the super chat here. As Matt Ryan on third down finds Mohamed Sanu. Nice play. From Ethan Mahoney, thank you for the super chat. What did you think of Trubisky's first game? I thought it was quite impressive. I think I saw most, if not all, of his throws yesterday, and he seemed accurate, and I definitely want to see more. There was the funny play, though, where he was like, hit the circle button for no reason and spun around as he was scrambling to extend the play. That was pretty hilarious. But I thought Trubisky looked good. I thought Kaiser was super exciting. If you're a Cleveland Browns fan, it was probably one of the most fun nights of football for you in a while. But at least Kaiser put on a show. When Watson played the other night, up and down, I was concerned about the inaccuracy. I want to see these rookies play, though. I'm really going to sit here and have Mike Glennon play and Brock Osweiler play and Tom Savage play, because I really hope not. Put the rookies in the game. Like, I feel like we go on this merry-go-round ride every single year. No, Chad Henne's going to play. Bortles isn't going to play until his second season. What we seem to forget too often is that there's an in-between. And in between the idea of Chad Henne starting and Blake Bortles playing a year from now is the fact that your team's going to suck. And the fact that Chad Henne's not going to play that well. He might look like Ben Roethlisberger, but he don't play like him. So, after 3 games, I mean, every week, you're going to lose a game. You're going to have all these different variables you didn't think about when you think that you can easily plan a year-long football deal. So, it never plays out that way. It just doesn't. For one reason or another. Kane, when are you going to release your Madden 18 franchise? I will be announcing that when probably the game is really out. Like, I think a week from today is early release. So I get like 10 hours of gameplay there with EA Access. I'm not going to waste it trying to work on that announcement video. As Devontae Freeman rips off a 46-yard touchdown, gashing our defense. I'm not going to be worrying about that when I get my hands on the early access. When I play early access next week on the EA Access, I want to just play. Feel the game out, give my thoughts, try a couple things out, but I don't want to spend too much time getting clips and planning out my franchise announcement. I'll wait for the full release, which is I think the 22nd with the GOAT edition is the earliest you can get it then, so probably that. So I'd say between the 22nd and the 25th, I'll have that video done. And I'm working on thinking about how I want to announce it this year. I want to get you guys hyped up. I like my series debuts. I had a lot of fun making the Kalispell one earlier this year. Or was it late last year? Kane, we need a hint. Okay, your one hint is that it's in the NFC. I've talked about wanting to go to the NFC this year, and I narrowed it down to a few different teams in the NFC for different reasons, and you'll know soon enough. All right, so we're looking to answer after an impressive Devontae Freeman score. We have Adrian Peterson getting the start, but I'd like to work into Sean McDuffie a little bit. Who is your favorite NFL team? That would be, I got nothing Vikings related by me, but it's the Minnesota Vikings. If you're new around here, I am a huge Minnesota Vikings fan. So every time, oh no, picked off by Jalen Collins. So this time of year as a Vikings fan, you get hyped up a little bit and then, you know, you get sent back to reality soon enough. So Jared Peel making the big mistake. We don't need this right now, guys. Let's watch this drive and then we'll sim a little bit. What will your second channel be in Madden 18? Well, on my second channel, right now I have no franchise planned. I'm not sure about career mode. I might do like a career mode mini-series when the game is out. Just something fun and short. I thought about doing that with like a rookie or something like that. Maybe like a Christian McCaffrey season, because I like McCaffrey a lot. And the Panthers will be fun to play with, just for a little mini season. But on that channel, I think I'll be doing Ultimate Team this year. I moved Road to the Show to that channel, and that's working out really well. And I think I'm going to do the same with Ultimate Team and try to do content in a little bit different style over there. I love to spend more time in MUT, and I get excited for these modes, but then my excitement tends to go down for a variety of reasons, so we'll see what happens this year. I'm not really going to commit to a bunch of videos. I thought I'd play a ton of DC in MUT last year. Ended up not being the case. What did you think about Dalvin Cook's preseason performance? With the opportunities he had, I thought he did well. Didn't do a lot as far as creation of yards goes, but it was only like 8 or 9 touches and didn't have a lot of running lanes in the first place. So I thought he looked the part, caught the football well. That's one of the big things for me, having a running back that is a threat out of the backfield, especially with a Pat Shurmur offense and the inevitable Sam Bradford checkdowns. Here's second down, Matt Ryan. And we got the pressure. Ryan is not escaping. So let's see if we can hold them to a field goal. 3rd and 11. Watch Julio. Ryan going for it all and overthrowing. I couldn't read the name there. So they're going to settle for a field goal try, and then we'll do a little bit faster simming and see what happens. I did not see Austin Carr's touchdown, but I'll have to check it out. I want to see all the highlights from yesterday. I spent most of yesterday watching the Vikings game, and then I watched the Bears game because Trubisky was putting on a show. Any AFC teams you like? Well, in general, I'm not like a fan of any other team, as our Lions here go 3-and-out. But if like I had to cheer for an AFC team, it would be the Chargers. I like a lot of their players. They got the best uniforms in football and they decide to wear them. So I like the Chargers, and I think they'll be a good team this year. There we go. Start airing it out, Jared Peel. Let's get some yards. Here's 3rd down. Got the Adrian Peterson 1st down. Can we get some points? Jared Peel sacked. This Falcons team is no joke. At least our defense is starting to get some stops. It's buying our offense time to get things jump-started. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened yet. Yeah, the Rams and Chargers fought in practice. You always see the fights this time of year. Nothing ever really happens as a result of it. Although Laquan Treadwell did get hurt in a fight. That happened. And another Devontae Freeman touchdown makes it 17-0. Come on now, the Falcons are making us look like pretenders here. We got to get some points before the halftime. 3rd down, there we go. Got Marvin Jones. Why don't we slow things down and see how this drive finishes out. I will be trying the NBA Live demo. I was downloading what I could earlier today, and I'll look to play it tomorrow. But if you're looking for content on that, likely want to do so on my 2nd channel, as Peel completes this to Golden Tate. Like, our receivers are way too good to not have any points at this juncture in the game. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the pistol as Peterson is going nowhere. Man, Vic Beasley there with the fill. I think in the second half I'll put in McDuffie because Peterson's already high on the carries. Yeah, it bugged me too how I said pretenders. I don't know. I think it's because one thing I always think about, we say prevent defense, but it's just prevent. Like, we don't say prevent in any other context. And maybe that kind of got caught in the shuffle there, my thought process and the ultimate speaking. So no, that did bug me too. I was wondering if anybody would notice, and clearly at least one of you did. Why do you look sad all the time? I'm a Minnesota sports fan. Not much to be happy about. Actually, the Twins have won 5 in a row, and they did pretty well last night. That new pitcher they got in the Garcia trade, one of the new pitchers pitched last night, he didn't last long at all. He got the bases loaded, and Molitor was like, I've seen enough. But, 5 straight victories. They're back in the wild card hunt now. Twins trying to lure me back in emotionally. I'll watch the games, but they want me to be into it emotionally so they can let me down again. Opinion on Moritz Boringer. I mean, we're not getting a chance to really see what he's doing. Apparently, he's made some improvements, but I'm guessing that he's got a very slim chance of making the roster and maybe even the practice squad this year. All depends on what happens with receivers like Caleb Jones, who are getting good buzz. And then you have the guaranteed locks are going to be Thielen and Diggs, Treadwell, and Michael Floyd coming off suspension. Then you assume Jarius Wright. But then you have Rodney Adams and Stacy Coley. As that gets knocked away, A.J. Wilbur's so good. But when you talk about Adams and Coley, both did well last night. Adams definitely surprised me because the camp chatter was not good on him, actually. And even below them, you still have Caleb Jones. Intercepted, let's go, A.J. Wilbur. That's my guy right there. A.J. Wilbur is one of the best players I've drafted in this series. I wanted to get the image of that A.J. Wilbur interception as Peterson takes us down to the 22. Kane, waffles or pancakes? That is one of the easiest questions you could ever ask me. And the answer is simply put, waffles. Who's picking pancakes over a waffle? That's a good kind of litmus test for if you should trust somebody. That's a good way to narrow it down. So here's how this happened. Trying to hit the out route here, and A.J. Wilbur, did he get both feet down? Yeah, he did. He did. He's good. A.J. Wilbur. What a star. We saw the potential last year. This is no surprise. And of course, along the sideline, it's like impossible to get a good view of the player because the camera can only extend so far. So this might not work that well. I'll find a thumbnail picture later. But let's get these points. Thoughts on Foreman from the Texans? I like Deontay Foreman. I liked he had a good 41-yard run. Obviously, it's just hard to judge such a little sample size. It ultimately becomes so dangerous to make opinions that way. I didn't choose the Vikings, they chose me. I didn't choose to be a fan of the Vikings. I wouldn't change it, despite everything that the team has been through since I became a fan. 3rd and 1, we're going to keep it in the air. Peel. Why are we checking it down to Adrian and throwing it with bad timing? Do you remember in your Panthers franchise where you were playing the Cowboys and you threw a beauty deep ball to Ikeem Hickson and he made an awesome diving catch? I do remember that. I think that was like the first catch of his career or something of that nature. It was like his first touchdown. That was a tough one to forget. It sucks when I have like these players coming up late in franchises and I don't get much time with them. That happened to Ikeem Hickson, Taj Riley, Michael Riley to an extent. He was always behind Julius Thomas. It's that first offseason where we really get to spend some time with those players. So let's hope it stays an 11-point game. Oh, 23 to Freeman. This is what we need to avoid, guys. 3rd down. Oh, 1st down again. We got the football back, apparently. Demontre Moore. Who even has the football? Okay. Interception, Darius Slay. We're fine. Let's go into the second half now. I want to get Deshaun McDuffie reunited with the offense. Oh, the Rams franchise, that onside kick. That last episode in this series was so wild. How the Bears ended up taking that game from us. We almost took it back with a Tavon Austin catch that was down to like the 2-yard line. I have never played a game quite like that one. It seemed like we had it in the bag. So, still 17-6 as Atlanta takes over. Oh, of course, need 10, you get 11. Then Devontae Freeman gets 19. Here come the big chunk plays for the Falcon offense. And they're down inside the 5 with a Devontae Freeman touchdown. Thoughts on Zeke's suspension? I really don't know a lot about the situation, honestly. So I don't really have any thoughts. I just kind of see the headlines, and I never really learned about what really happened. So we are not competing very well with the Falcons. I expected much better. I am very disappointed. Who is Philip Duckett? Remember TJ Duckett? He was fun for like 3 years, but where'd he go? I'm not even sure how many in the chat remember TJ Duckett. That was like mid-2000s obscure references. That was like back when Michael Vick was still a Falcon. Hey, we went for it and got it. Intercepted Deion Jones. It's not our day. So we've got to get out of this game. Oh, yeah. How did the team allow 29 points in that game against the Panthers? Talking about my Chargers franchise a few episodes ago. That was another unique one. I haven't seen anything quite like that. Those 29 fourth quarter points. It started out, you know, basic. They earned their points. Nothing crazy happened. But then everything that could go wrong did. I like how we settled for a field goal. What good is that going to do us? Who's got worse hands, Adrian or Vladimir Mims? I probably got to go with Adrian Peterson on that one. All right, do we finally find the end zone? Nope, we turn it over on downs. All right, game over, Falcons win. So I guess next we're going to see us play against the Packers. We all know how much fun that ends up being. There is no blown lead by the Falcons today. We were never really in this one. I mean, the game started out 0-0, but beyond that, like, it was all Falcons. 3 field goals for us. I expect a lot better because our offense is healthier than they've been all season. This is the healthiest they have been. So here are the numbers. Nothing big in the air. 2 interceptions for both sides. Devontae Freeman has to go for 206 and 3. All right. I'm ready to move on. I think we've lost 2 or 3 games now. Thoughts on the Lions' new unis? I like the Lions uniforms, and I've liked them since they rebranded their logo. And I think they've had the same uniform since like 2010 or 2011 now. Somewhere around that. What do you think about the Giants? I think they're in good position to compete this year for an NFC East title and to compete into the postseason. As long as that defense stays healthy. They turned that defense around fast, but they still ain't drafting no linebackers. We got 221 viewers. Can we get some more likes in here? We're at 60 right now. Can we get to 100? Let's scout some linebackers here. Found some good run stoppers. Have any of you played the NBA Live demo? I'm hearing some good things so far, but I've yet to play it myself. There we go. Troutwine. I have not seen that name come up in the player pool at all until now. So at 9-4, we move on to week 15. Oh, and I didn't mention this earlier. As soon as this stream is over, you guys can watch the new Twins franchise episode. It's going to go up as soon as this is over. Thumbnail's already done. It just has to be set to public. So everything's good to go on that. It's a fun episode focusing on opening day for the minor league teams. So it's the first game for AAA, first game for AA, and then we wrap around with a nice Twins game at the end against the Kansas City Royals. Really fun episode. And we lost again. We're 9-5. We're in some trouble right now, guys. 9-5, and the Packers might be the #1 seed now. Seahawks are there. Falcons are there. We could get lost in the shuffle in this wild card race if we don't do well in these last 2 games. We just lost 21-16. Wow, they dominated time of possession. Must have been a nice Todd Gurley game in that point at that rate. Not that nice, but okay, they ran the ball over 34, probably 40 times. Our offense is going in the wrong direction. We've lost 3 of 4, and we can't score more than 16 points. We got a road game against the Packers and a road game against the Vikings to wrap this up. All right, let's go and do a little bit more scouting. I think I missed the last round of scouting, so I lost out on some points. I don't know, I feel like our roster is good. There's not a whole lot I want to scout right now. Maybe safeties, although I did my homework on them. Someone surprise me. Okay, Leverett here. Interesting with C+ zone. Can never have too many corners. Let's just scout a bunch of them. Emmanuel Whiteside. B+ man coverage. Haynes Poindexter. All right. NBA Live is very fun. Okay, I hope that the game is better this year. Obviously, want to see. I just want, even though I'm not like a huge basketball fan, I just want to see like there be good competition when it comes to sports games. Like we haven't had an NFL game besides Madden in a long time. I don't want to see NBA become a one-team deal again, even though NBA Live hasn't really competed well in a very long time. But they have some cool things in store this year, and I'll play the demo tomorrow. And about Sammy Watkins, okay. It's a really interesting trade. It sends Watkins out to the Rams, who now have Sammy Watkins, Robert Woods, whom they paid a lot of money for. They also have Tavon Austin. So they're going to run a lot of screen passes this year. Watkins ran a bunch at Clemson. He's ran more at the Bills. Tavon Austin, obviously gadget players. Screens are always going to be a part of his repertoire. So Jared Goff is going to have some options now around him. And I like a couple of the rookies they got, Cooper Kupp and Josh Reynolds. I was hoping Reynolds would go to a more fun team because he's kind of a big play receiver. So going to the Rams, really bummed about Reynolds being there. Might not hear about him for a while. So I wondered if they'd be willing to trade Tavon Austin after this acquisition, but after looking more into it, I don't think so, because Watkins is only under contract for this season. And on top of that, Tavon's deal was actually pretty smart in a way. Like, I was surprised that they kept him around because they hadn't used him very effectively. but at least they front-loaded the cap hits, so the worst is going to be this year. And then it's going to drop down significantly next year, and by 2019, if they have to cut him, there's not a major cap deal there. And also, beyond this year, say they want to trade Tavon Austin, his contract is more team-friendly in terms of salary cap hit after this year. So if he's traded this offseason for picks, I think that is possible. I like to see Tavon play on a fun team. Nothing worse than seeing a team try to build around a guy like Tavon Austin and they just struggled to do anything. They couldn't run the football. They had a terrible offensive line. Jared Goff didn't play very well. So I like that they're getting talent for their young quarterback. It's the same thing I praise the Eagles for doing. Figure out who Wentz is, get him weapons, and let it rip. Same thing with Goff. But I'm not sure how well the Rams offense will be this year, even with some of these additions. All depends on Goff and the O-line, because that's kind of the root of your offense. Screen passes isn't the correct way to utilize Tavon Austin. It's one of the ways you can, and it's going to be what they have to do until they can throw the ball downfield. That or play him at running back some more. Aaron Rodgers. Where's Jeff Janis? I got to know where Jeff Janis is at all times. Man, we could go from being one of the top teams in the NFC to actually missing out if we close this with like a 9-7 record. Bills are in rebuild mode. Yeah, it sure seems like that. I didn't think they were going to compete for the division this year. But next year, they'll be in better position with some young talent. Randall Cobb, touchdown! If A.J. Wilbur's not making plays, you know things have gotten bad for us. The Lions are lioning here. I don't know if the Eagles got a good deal, to be honest. They're sacrificing receiving core for secondary, and both were already weak. Yeah, I guess I didn't touch on that the Eagles gave up Jordan Matthews, a weapon for Carson Wentz. Of course, they did acquire Alshon Jeffrey. They must still have high hopes for Nelson Aguilar. I know I liked him a lot when he was coming into the league, but since then, not many reasons to be excited. There's still Zach Ertz, so it's not like they're depleted. And I also want to see some Donnell Pumphrey this year, hopefully. Mac Hollins had the nice play. But I'm not really concerned about the Matthews loss for them because I didn't think he was going to be a part of their future plans anyway. Kind of inconsistent, injury issues, drops issues. But acquiring Ronald Darby is a really big deal because that secondary was tough. Everything in front of that secondary is solid, so you get some cover corners in there, and now you're talking. Yeah, they have Torrey Smith, but I'm not even sure how good Torrey is anymore because he went out to San Francisco, caught like 30 balls in a last season, and now he's just another contract older. So we'll see if he can stretch the field. I mean, Wentz is not afraid to let it rip, so I guess we'll see what Smith has left in the tank. Yeah, Jeffrey has his own injury concerns as well. So if Alshon can't stay healthy, then the receiving core is going to be in really tough shape again. So the Packers up 7-0 in this game. Come on, Jared. Peel. Oh, Mike Daniels is there. That's no good for us. Yeah, I think Stacy Coley has a good chance of making the 53. I thought it would be one roster spot between him and Rodney Adams for the Vikings. Maybe it'll be two. It'll depend on what they end up doing at returner. I'm not sure if they want Marcus Sherrills to handle kick and punt return duties, but it doesn't seem like anybody is running away with the kick return job, and that includes Rodney Adams. And that was kind of a big reason why they got him. They talked about his return ability at South Florida, but so far has not wowed with the return ability. But his offense sure seems solid yesterday. Here's third down for Peel. He's protected, And completes this pass for a first down. Please don't challenge that. We've lost a lot of things lately. Don't need to lose those yards. It looked pretty out of bounds to me. Maybe it wasn't. The Bills threw Tyrod Taylor to the Wolves today. Yeah, I mean, he's already played a lot without Sammy Watkins. But I don't know what they do now at receiver. They have Anquan Bolden. They have Zay Jones, who was very productive, hyper productive in college. Didn't see Zay Jones last night. I was expecting Zay Jones to play. I didn't hear his name at all. He didn't catch a pass, if I remember correctly. Theo Riddick here on the outside, back from injury and shy of the marker. Third and 1. Give this off to Riddick. Theo Riddick is close. Why is he getting these short yardage carries, though? That's where I'd want us to use Peterson. But this team isn't doing much right. Yes, Rodney Adams has a YouTube channel. He's been posting some vlogs down at training camp. I've seen a couple of them. Bishop Sankey is out for the year. That's kind of what I thought when I saw the injury. It didn't look very good. That sucks. I wanted to see if he could have some sort of resurgence here in Minnesota. No, a 15-yard penalty on Nevin Lawson. And the Packers are driving yet again. This team very well might finish 9-7. Hard to be confident now. What if Sammy Watkins got traded to the Vikings? I wouldn't be that excited about it. I don't see why they would need to make that move, especially because it wouldn't be for free. They have enough receiver options. So it's 10-0. Wait a minute. Jimmy Garoppolo just entered the game. I think Peel's hurt. Man, is our season going to just completely fall off a cliff today? Because that's the route we're headed. Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo is in the game. What's the status of Jared Peel? I thought we were playoff bound. Now I am definitely concerned. 1 quarter. Who's your biggest sleeper team in the NFL? I'd have to say Buccaneers if they qualify, if not the Chargers. I'm just high on both teams this year. Oh, the Titans are also up there. Garoppolo to Riddick. Down he goes. So why is Theo getting all... I guess it's because he came back from injury and has the highest overall. So I need to make sure that Riddick isn't starting because I want somebody else to get the carries. 3rd and 6 for Jimmy Garoppolo. Nice strike on the outside to Marvin Jones. So let's get Riddick back into that 3rd down back role. I think we have enough running backs now. We're up to 5 healthy, I think. I forget how long Zenner was out. But he's in the game now. I want to go McDuffie. I got to go McDuffie over Riddick. I'm sorry, Theo. I'm a Theo Riddick guy. But I got to get McDuffie back out there. It's been too long. And a give off to Peterson here. A different running back, but the results stay the same. I know you said Psych was your favorite show. What did you think of the remake episode in the last season? I wasn't able to finish the show. I always assumed that, oh, I'll just come back to it later. Then it was taken off Netflix abruptly. so I haven't been caught up, but I will be. That is one of my favorite TV shows. Probably number one. And Garoppolo with the pass on third down. Oh, come on! That was the right direction. Just throw it to the guy. Oh boy, this should be fun. Here's a long field goal try. We've basically sucked at everything today, so I'm not expecting this to go well. The kick. Come on, it was so obvious he was going to miss it. We haven't done anything well today. What else was going to happen? I got to go back and watch it, though. Aaron Rodgers. Hey, broken up there. A.J. Wilbur. "54-yard field goal. Right off the right upright. Let's see if there's a good kicker reaction in here. No, there wasn't. I was feeling so positive about this team before the stream. Okay, Packers football. 24 to Jordy Nelson. And on third down, the Packers get a penalty on Kinney. And they are going to take a 17-0 lead just as the Falcons did. Oh, man. No, I have not seen Hard Knocks, but we fumbled. We're bad now. We are very, very bad. I haven't seen Hard Knocks, but I kind of wanted to check it out to see what the Bucs are up to. Maybe see Godwin out there, Chris Godwin. 24-zip. Let's just sim for a while. Next quarter. Hey, Garoppolo got us a play. I guess this isn't any faster. I could go faster at hyper speed there. Don't want to. Got a couple big passes. And the fun ends there. We got the field goal this time. This is all happening because you showed up late, Kane. If you would have been on time, you'd probably be winning these games. Maybe. I'm trying to find some way to explain it. I mean, maybe it's as simple as it's the Lions. What else was going to happen? But the thing is, the Lions, as they've proved recently, can have a good year every now and then. It's just sandwiched between bad years. So Jared Peel has returned, but I'm not sure that his heroic efforts in this second half will be enough. Oh, man. The Packers done? No, they're not. It's 31-3. So when it comes to Madden 18, what would you guys like to see for streaming content? I'm not really planning on doing Ultimate Team streams on this channel or anything like that. I'd like to find, you know, maybe something like this, or we go in a different direction. I tried a couple things on here, and I like this idea. Why are you rebuilding the Lions if you support the Vikings? Well, I left it up to a poll on a video before the stream, the first stream of this series, and it was voted to be the Detroit Lions. I thought the Titans would win, Boy, was I wrong. Another interception by Jake Ryan. They put in Brett Hundley. I'm not sure if Rodgers got hurt or if they are showing mercy. All right, this game's over. 41-3. This team is awful now. Is punter the most important player on your team now? I think it is. That and kick returner. Because we're giving up so many points, we have a lot of opportunities to return kicks. (41-3). Who wants to see the stats? I don't. Rodgers was excellent, but he got hurt. Eddie Lacy was excellent. We're bad again. We are very bad again. I'm going to sim through week 16, obviously, now, and I'll see what it takes for us to make the playoffs in week 17. Do you think the Browns will do good this year, reflecting off last night's preseason game? I'm hoping it's a step up. I'm not sure if they're going to be good yet, but if they can be entertaining and stay more competitive, I'd call that like a victory or something you can at least be happy of regarding the team. And I think they have a chance to do that this year, depending on what they do at quarterback and how that quarterback plays. I mean, I love to see it be Deshaun Kaiser, but not every night is going to be just a party where he throws 50-yard bombs the entire time. So you got to be kind of realistic there and expect that he'll have struggles, but hopefully also great enough moments to warrant, you know, letting him have a chance here. So with this losing streak, why don't we take a look at the standings? In the NFC, playoff spots clinched by the Packers, Seahawks, Falcons. Cowboys will likely win the East. The Lions at 9-6. It's a big mess. So we got to win, maybe get some help, but I don't expect we'll make it if we don't win. So we'll jump into this last game against the Vikings and see where we're going. When will the next Chargers video be up? That's going to be either tomorrow or Sunday, whichever day I get the time to finish it. I'd guess Sunday. But I posted quite a bit of content this week in my series. So I'm happy with that. And I have a Twins franchise video coming up as soon as this stream is concluded. Like within 30 seconds it should be up. Hey, B+ zone. Not bad for a 6th. I want to go back to running backs. I can't help myself. I got to see what Sam Costa can do. All right. We have been terrible in every game today, but there's a chance we might not be terrible against the Vikings. They were only a 3-win team this year. Do you think the Lions are looking for a good backup with Brad Kaya or someone to replace Stafford over time? I don't think they're trying to replace Stafford. I think that they want to keep Stafford long term, and they probably should. It's hard enough to find a quarterback at the caliber of Matt Stafford. So it would be very unprecedented for them to just move on from him. Like, if anybody should move on from their quarterback who's been a starter for a while, it should probably be the Ravens, with Joe Flacco. But I think with Stafford, they'll eventually, honestly, they have no leverage. I mean, it's impossible to have leverage when you're talking about negotiating with your quarterback. What are you going to do? Find another one? That's tough. So pay the $130 million, whatever it's going to take, or $200 million, depending on the year. Like, you have no leverage in that spot. And Stafford is a good starting quarterback, so I don't see them trying to replace him. And I just think that it's good to have a good backup quarterback. So I don't think they were really trying to do anything too much with the Brad Kaya pick. But a lot of people were high on Kaya a year ago. After this last season, not quite as high. So it's, not a bad option to go and get a player that was once highly touted and maybe has a couple traits that you can work around. Are you ever going to do more Desmond Payne videos? There's a chance, but as of now, I'm not planning on anything. I have my Jordan Starks road to the show now, and that is on my second channel. Let's see how we open up this game. Hey Kane, did you check out any of the podcasts we all sent you? I have listened to a couple. Well, actually this week, I have my Vikings ones that I know. And with it being preseason week, I had to catch up on the Vikings content. But I liked that tweet, so I could go back to it later. And I'm going to find, hopefully, some more overarching podcasts that I can listen to. Because I have the Viking stuff all figured out. But when it comes to just general stuff and staying up to date, I just like a good podcast to fill in that need. So I think like the Around the NFL podcast might do the job there. I've listened to that one before. And I'll go through the suggestions, and I'll give them a shot because I want to find some more podcasts for football. Yes, I have to change my halfback depth chart. I forgot about that. Theo Riddick should not be in there. But you can play on third downs. Actually, that's right. I put McDuffie in the game because I gotta use McDuffie. Gotta see what the young running back can do. You ever thought of combining your two channels into one? No, I haven't. I like having two channels that are doing some different things. And it just... I don't want to flood one channel with a lot of different content, because I don't think that would do well for the channel. I think it's better having them separate. They're both doing different things and different styles of content. Peel here on the outside gets us a couple yards. We needed a few more, though. This team's ugly. What are your predictions for the Cowboys for the first 6 games with the Zeke suspension? Well, I'm guessing he'll appeal it, and maybe he ends up playing the first 6 games. If that, is possible, I don't see why it wouldn't be. Obviously, appeals are pretty much commonplace for every suspension. There we go. Oh, Clayton Howard's hurt, though. So I'm guessing when it comes to that situation, we are far from the end. Yes, it's Peterson back in Minnesota. That's right. Adrian Peterson against the Vikings in Minnesota, trying to help us make the playoffs. It's Adrian, and he won't get outside. Doesn't have that same power. He's already filed appeal. Yeah, didn't think that would take long. Appeal to Peterson. And a spin, failing. Doesn't have the same moves. Oh, broken up, come on. We have enough struggles right now as a team. Hey there, just made an account quick just to... Oh, come on, get off my screen, Arrow. To tell you that I love your content, and I'm also a big Vikings fan from Germany. Thank you, Maximilian. And thank you for representing the Vikings over in Europe. A lot of Vikings fans over there, I know. Realized that when they played in London in 2013, yeah, 2013 against the Steelers. Matt Castle came in, put on a show, and it was over by the next week because the Panthers blew them out. So 3-0, and all I wanted to see was some of our defense, but I simmed the one play that we had. How do you feel about analysts saying Tom Brady is going to have a huge decline this season? I wouldn't bet on it or try to make any bold statements around that. I don't think counting out Tom Brady has worked well for anybody in the past, so let's just avoid that until it's all over. But everybody always wants to be right, because eventually Brady will not be an elite quarterback. But everybody wants the chance to be right about the timing. I don't want to collect the L's in that department, so I'm not going to join that bandwagon. As a matter of fact, I already was wrong once, because remember that terrible game against the Chiefs? Guess who played the Bengals defense the following week in fantasy? That didn't work. Hey, Amir Abdullah. That's right, he's with the Vikings. Here's 3rd down and 7. What? Mike Berkovici's in the game? Stephon Diggs has the 1st down. Teddy's hurt. I think we saw that before. Do you think Elflein will be starting week 1? I think he will be. I don't see Nick Easton keeping him out of the starting job for long. I think Elflein he'll make it there. Oh, Amir Abdullah with the spin. We don't need the revenge game here. Hey, Kane, I've been watching since the Madden 11 Vikings franchise with Ponder. I want to say I love your vids, and Octodad was awesome. Octodad was an awesome game. That was really fun Let's Play. And actually, it was Ponder on Madden 12, but the Madden 11 Vikings franchise had Al Cunningham, who was one of the generated quarterbacks that I drafted, and he was the quarterback for that series. Oh, Amir Abdullah looks so quick. But we're not defending the run well enough. Berkovici hands off now to Coakley, and we're over to make that play. If we lose to the Vikings, though, this rebuild might just take too long for us to even attempt to make a comeback. This episode was tough. And there's McClellan on the reception. 1st down. Wasn't Cunningham a 7th rounder out of Minnesota? I forget when I drafted him. That was a really long time ago, over 6 years ago, so I don't remember exactly what round I took him in, especially because that was prior to the series even starting. What happened that summer is I got my Hapog HD PVR, a device I still use to capture PS3 gameplay, and I just wanted to make some content. I wanted to try giving YouTube a shot, and so Madden 11 was there. I was playing some franchise on my own, and I decided to give it a shot. The first video got some attention, a little bit of views, so I went, tried to do some more of them, and it turned into this. So it's an incredible journey. It was not 100% intentional. When I began, I didn't know what I was doing. I figured it out after a while and steered the ship from there, but at the beginning, man, it's amazing to see where we've ended up. In the I formation here, goal to go. Berkovici to Abdullah. That's a touchdown. Okay, so here we are losing to the 3-win Vikings. How much longer do you think Joe Flacco will be in the NFL? I don't think, like, we're near the end or anything. How old is Joe Flacco? Maybe we're closer to the end than I thought. Joe Flacco's 32. Okay. I'll say he plays through age 36. By then, he might be a backup. So I'll say that through age 36, which would give him like 3 or 4 more years. I feel like you give your background story every stream. Yeah, I rehash a lot of different things, and that's one of them. I always get asked, I don't mind repeating the answers just because it's like, hey, more people are interested. That's why I don't mind when people are wondering like when episodes of different series are going to be, because people are interested, so I'm not going to get mad at that just because you weren't there to hear the first time I answered. All right, 7-3, Adrian Peterson. Still can't get going. Did you play with McNabb in Madden 12? I can't remember. Nope, that would have been a year. Wait a minute. Madden 12 Vikings franchise. I had Christian Ponder. So that would have been the Donovan McNabb year because, yeah, it was Madden 12 would have been his first year. Did I even use McNabb in that series? It's been so long. All I remember is Christian Ponder. And Peel lost the football. Slayton for a touchdown. It's happening right now. I gotta go back to the first episode and see what did I ever do with Donovan McNabb. You played with him very briefly. You played with him for half a year. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I forgot I played with McNabb at all. Because Ponder took over and we won a Super Bowl. Insert Paul Allen. The Vikings have knocked the Lions out of the playoffs. Of course, they play on the famous 2003 call of the Cardinals have knocked the Vikings out of the playoffs. The Nate Poole touchdown because of a rule that was so stupid. If you don't remember, 13, 14 years ago, the NFL used to have a rule. And it was the push-out rule. So if you were along the sideline trying to make a catch, but the defender shoved you out of bounds, and that prevented you from getting both feet in bounds, they had a rule where the referees could basically say, oh, if the defender wasn't there doing his job pushing you out of bounds, you would have gotten both feet down. Therefore, we're going to pretend that you did, and it's a catch. One of the dumbest rules I've ever seen in sports. And it cost the Vikings a playoff spot. I was so heartbroken. I think I was more heartbroken than angry. I was pretty young, so I was definitely just sad. But that was one of my first experiences of Vikings heartbreak, which only came 2 years after the infamous 41 donut game against the Giants. That was one of the first games I'd ever watched. I got into the Vikings that year when they went 11-5. Dante Culpepper throwing deep balls to Randy Moss. Perhaps on the way to the Super Bowl, and then the Giants game happened. I was so happy when the Ravens destroyed them, though. Still am.
Now let's go.
14-3 it is, and Peterson still is getting no room. Yeah, it took him a while to get rid of the push-out rule, but I think the most famous example of the push-out rule had to have been the Nathan Poole touchdown from Josh McCown. Yeah, the Blair Walsh one. That's just added on so many other layers of heartbreak that it hasn't had as much time to marinate. There are still, like, other situations I'm not over, like the entire 2009 NFC Championship game. I refuse to watch that game again. The Blair Walsh one, that was light compared to the other ones. Because while Walsh did miss a chip shot field goal, it was also like -30 that day. I had to drive home from the airport that day. Not fun. And he was also the only player who added points for the Vikings that day. So it was like, yeah, he had the biggest blunder, but he also had all the points at the same time. So it's like the team let him down in a way, while he did let down with the missed field goal. Finns once went from 9-2 to missing the playoffs altogether, so there. I have to look back to see when that was. I think I'm going to take Peterson out of the game, perhaps, if he can't get any running room. If it makes you feel any better, I'm a St. Louis Rams fan. Well, at least you can watch old Greatest Show on Turf highlights. Yeah, AP's fumble on that game didn't help. I had to think about which fumble you were talking about because the 09 championship game, also Adrian Peterson fumble time. Let's sim a little bit faster here. How are we so bad all of a sudden? Yeah, I've seen the 98 season with the Vikings and the Gary Anderson missed field goal, but that was a little bit too soon for me. I think I remember when it happened, but I was not a big Viking fan yet. I didn't like football until I was 8 years old, and it was actually Madden that got me into football and Madden that got me into video games. It's 21-3. And we just went 3 and out again. Giving up penalties, big plays. Like, it is over. The ride is over. 24-3. We need scores now. There is no time to waste. Let's hop back into the game with the offense and see if they have any fight left in them. Yeah, I wasn't alive to see the Vikings lose 4 Super Bowls with 2 of the best players in franchise history. Oh man, Harrison Smith. Have you seen the Viking Legacy of Failure video? I haven't seen it, but I've lived a lot of it. Kane, why did you choose not to keep using the Vikings in franchise mode but use other teams? Just for a little bit more variety and to try different challenges every year, take on different teams, and see different teams more commonly. Like if I had done another Viking franchise, it would have been more games against the Bears, Packers, and Lions. And we wouldn't have gotten to see as much of the AFC or have a chance to build a team in that conference. So it's just for some variety. And after building up the Vikings, I didn't want to build them again, even though it could have been very different. For a while, I did think about actually doing that and just being the Vikings again, but I decided against that. You okay over there? Sorry, my cat is trying to talk to me. So yeah, it's 38-3. Blowouts to close the year. I gotta grab a thumbnail though. Can I get one of like Jared Peel crying? Is there any way I could trigger that? You should make a team in Super Mega Baseball of all the players you've missed in drafts. Oh, so the Bookman and Corin Haggerty combo. It's 45-3. Are you kidding me? I just want to get one play here for a thumbnail and then wrap it up. Oh, man. Man, this team was so good. And it's all but over. Oops, I want to get thumbnail time. And man, I thought we'd be going to the playoffs and having some fun playoff streams soon, but that's not going to be the case. Maybe there's a slim chance that we could. We are right now in like the 6th seed. Are we going to end up there? Highly unlikely. Oops, let me, can I sim from here? Nope. Can I call timeout? We don't need him anymore. Why did I do that? Jared Peel on the outside to Ebron. Got 6. Show the cat. Nala, come here. Come here. She doesn't listen to me. Nala, come here. Come here. She wants to leave. Here, let me get to the regular sim menu, please. It won't let me. It's forcing me to watch this. Are you seeing this right now? I literally can't do anything else. I can't change the Super Sim. Is it because I told it to sim till the end of the possession or something like that? Jared Peel, the gunslinger. Incomplete for Ebron. And here's Peel on 3rd and 1 with the quick throw into traffic, and that was an ugly play to end what is an ugly season for our Detroit Lions. And I'm forced to watch all of this. No, you want to come here? Come here. Come here. Come here. Are you not interested? I think I have to watch this to the end. But maybe now it'll change because it's a change of possession. Ha, yeah, right. Timeout. Can I pause the game now? I'm going to try to beat the game right now. Come on. Nope. I have to watch every single play. No, come here. Come here. No, come here. Please? Amir Abdullah having the big game against us. And Abdullah brought to the ground. Maybe that's second to last play. No, come here. Come here. Four down. Check. Let's go. I got her. 3-19. Hello? Don't claw me. She ain't gonna stick around for long. There she is. The Lions are terrible. And this is our mascot now. She didn't want to stick around. She's only your friend on her terms. I can respect that. Okay, I think the pain of this season is over. $45-6 against the 3-win Vikings. Kane, what was your favorite Madden franchise you've done and why? The Vikings one was my favorite just because it was the first one, and just seeing for the first time so many people get invested in the franchise with me was just so cool. So, I mean, the first franchise is always going to stand out. And on we go to the playoffs. Probably not going to be there. Nope, we did not make it. The Lions, after starting the season 8-2, missed the playoffs. We lost 4 games in a row to close the season, scoring no more than 16 points in any of those games, and under 10 in 3 of them. All right. Off season's up next. I guess one more go before Madden 18. How's that sound, everybody? Maybe we'll do that this weekend. Off season time, get through the playoffs here, and then give it one more go. I thought this would be maybe our last ride and make it to the playoffs, but nope. No playoffs for us. Unreal. That's going to do it for today's stream, everybody. Thank you all for coming and spending some time with me on this Friday afternoon. I'm going to post the Twins franchise immediately after ending this stream, so you can go right from here to that video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all later. Have a great day. Was this more or less painful than a real Vikings season? A little bit less.